This is the book of James, chapter 5, verse 1. And it reads, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and your silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days." All right. So I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rekakwadash, the more honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and peace to the hopeful elect. It's Brother Barzal from the GMS Arizona Camp, Lord will, with another quick lesson to edify. All right. And I brought that out in James because, hey, the money here in Babylon the Great is becoming more evident that is worthless. All right. And the Lord is really ready to take this place down. Okay. He's ready to take America, aka Babylon the Great, out of the way. All right. We're in that season where the Lord is about to speed up the downfall of this place. So, I was looking at some news and fair use on this clip, just using it for informational purposes. But we're going to play this video because, this is something to pay attention to. Things could get really interesting if the U.S. defaults on its debt. All right. And this video is going to go into what could be some of the ramifications if that happens. Okay. It could affect global markets. It can have an impact on people's retirement accounts, people's Social Security, ability to receive their Social Security income. And that's going to affect a lot of people, their ability to live, ability to pay their bills, ability to provide for their families, you see? And so, this is something to keep an eye on. We're praying to Yahweh Shemel Shai that he allows this place to default on this debt, because we know that that's a part of the end time prophecy for this place as it collapses, that its money will be worthless. All right. That chaos will unfold and all hell will break out on the streets. And this could definitely be a catalyst to spark all of those things. When employers start to cut jobs, we'll fully set into a recession. All of these can be a result of the U.S. defaulting on its debt, let alone the credibility that it loses as being, that top, stable superpower on the planet. All right. So let's play the clip.
For Money Watch International, our Ramion Asensio joins us from London every Friday with the latest economic news overseas. So he is here with us now. Good morning to you. Good day, I should say, for you in London. Happy Friday. Always very good to see you, Rami. Let's start with this. President Biden has landed in Japan for this year's G7 summit. Stopping the flow of money to Russia is on his mind, as well as many other world leaders. What are those conversations like right now?
Yeah, for sure. Basically, new sanctions, Nancy, and more sanctions against Russia. This is to plug up loopholes from the many various sanctions that have happened over the past year. They're focusing on restricting exports of goods to the country, to Russia, that could help it in its war against Ukraine. But they're also focusing on restricting exports of goods from Russia that would bring its money to keep its economy going, or that could...
I'm going to skip past this and get to the point.
Going to be catastrophic, not just for the U.S. The debt ceiling negotiations are going right down to the wire. And, the Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, has been warning for a very long time that, of course, if we go over that debt cliff, it's going to be catastrophic, not just for the U.S., but for the world, that it could trigger sort of a world economic downturn. I'm wondering if people outside of the U.S. are concerned about this game of chicken American politicians are playing.
Yeah, the people who know, Henry, know, but the people who don't, they are oblivious. They just go about their lives worried about their own inflation, about electricity, food. But the government leaders, the economists, stock and currency traders, they are the ones watching. One economist is warning of a catastrophe. That's a quote. Another says that it would make the 2008 global financial crisis that, of course, we all endured, that we all lived through, look like, as what he said, a tea party. So that doesn't bode well if the U.S. government does this default. And, remember, it took us years to get out from the global financial crisis. Basically, what happens in the U.S.? U.S. pain means global pain because the U.S. is the world's biggest economy. Interest rates would jump in the U.S., but then there would be this domino effect here in the United Kingdom, elsewhere around the world. Mortgages would rise for you guys. They'd rise for us here. The U.S. dollar would lose strength. Now, that might sound good if you're an international viewer, because then you say, oh, well, I get more dollars, I get more bucks. But that would cause volatility because oil and wheat, they're priced in dollars, and then people just won't know how to price those commodities. And then the fear is that the U.S. could default, then other countries could too. So it's one domino effect, the fall around the world.
And just to remind everyone, this is happening as most countries are just crawling out of the pandemic, right? And the economic sort of burden that the pandemic brought.
And we know how dangerous uncertainty can be for this market and many, many others. Remy, turning now to Brexit. Back in the news where you are right now.
All right. So as you can see, this debt default can cause a lot of chaos globally and impact not only the market here in America, but also global markets and global economies. All right, like the man said, like it could just be the first domino to fall, and we know what Esau Edom is trying to do. We know that he has an enterprise that he is trying to accomplish, and what better catalyst, okay, to jumpstart his the beginnings of this new enterprise, which is touted as the Great Reset, then allowing this debt to default and allowing the system to collapse, this current monetary system, and bringing in a whole new system. You see, because that's ultimately what this devil wants to do, man. He has been planning, in the dark, to have a one world government, a one world currency that he controls, and having everybody on the planet Earth operating under that new government and monetary system, which is going to be powered digitally, and the people are going to be integrated through an electronic grain of rice. Okay, so this fits exactly with the game plan, the enterprise that this devil is trying to pursue. So, hey, Lord willing, this is it. Lord willing, this is going to be the event that this devil is going to use, okay, to perform his enterprise. This is Job 5:12. It says, he disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. All right. So who is the he? Is talking about Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. He's going to disappoint the devices of the crafty. A device is what? Let's get the word. All right. Let's get the word for device.
Strong's H 4284. Machashava. Machashava.
All right. So the
The
word.
second entry.
Oh, Salaki.
Machasheveth. Machasheveth.
All right. So as you see, it says thought, a device, a thought, a device, a plan, a purpose, invention. So let's go down to the Strong's definition. It says a contrivance. It says a texture, machine, or intention, a plan, whether bad, a plot, or good advice. It says cunning work, curious work, device. All right, a purpose of thought. So ultimately this word is going into this devil's evil plan or his wicked purpose. All right. So the Lord is going to disappoint his evil plan. What is his evil plan? To establish a one world government and a one world currency and have everybody on the planet take that electronic grain of rice, regardless of these weak ass breakdowns that these other Israelite groups and Israelite leaders push out to their congregations. And this is the truth of the matter. When you look at the news, everything is going digital. When you look at these different countries, they're scrapping and getting rid of the currencies. All right. And they're implementing digital currencies. Why are they doing that? Because the plan is to move everything digital. This devil wants to track and trace everything and that everybody does. And the way that he's going to be able to do that is through his technology, to have a digital ledger of everything that you do. That's the game plan. That is the device that this man has been planning for hundreds of years. And now we're at that appointed time. Let's jump over to Habakkuk real quick. We're at that appointed time where these things are speaking. This is Habakkuk 2 and 3. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. Okay, the vision is the end time prophecies. Okay, especially the MOTB. Right, and that vision is for an appointed time. You know, you'll see things in the news. You'll see it pop up here and there, you know, over in Sweden, in various parts of the earth. And you'll see a company here and there, 3 Square Market. I remember a few years back that say, hey, you know, we're providing this to our employees, so on and so forth. But for it to be implemented on a mass scale, that is the appointed time. All right. And we're currently living in that appointed time. It says, but at the end, it shall speak and not lie. So that's why you saw, you know, the birth pains, so to speak. You know, you see a incident of the MOTB, that electronic grain of rice here and there. But at the end, it's going to speak and not lie. You're going to be able to see it clearly. And we're living in that time where the infrastructure is set in place. There's a FedNow is going live in July. Now they're talking about a default June 1st. Doesn't it make sense that it feels as though that we're in that season? Okay? That appointed time. It says, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So we've been waiting for these prophecies, okay, to come to pass, and then here we are. Now we're in a position where if this debt ceiling, if these debt ceiling talks don't go well, you know, the Republicans and Democrats don't get on the same page and come to an agreement, then we could very well see the U.S. default in its debt. And then we can see the implications that come from that. We can see the joblessness, okay, the layoffs, the increase in mortgage rates, okay, the lack of the distribution of Social Security. And then we can see the domino effects of that, how people become enraged and then they hit the streets, okay, in protest and in anger. And then what are you going to have? You're going to have this devil that's going to present a solution. And, you know, through the Spirit, we know that the electronic grain of rice is going to be the ultimate solution. But this could be the catalyst to implementing the new system. They might not come out right with the electronic grain of rice right away, but at least they can implement that new system, you know, to after they create the panic, to create that sense of calm and security over the people again, you know, and because the people are going to welcome the system rather than all the suffering that's going to come from this default. So it says he disappointed, Job 5:12, it says he disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. All right. So their enterprise is that NWO. Okay. That's the ultimate enterprise that this devil is trying to perform. All right. But they're not going to succeed. You know, the plans are going to be disappointed. And, you know, the Lord is going to cast them down. See that? So real quick, I wanted to grab this clip because I was looking it up. I was watching another clip before this one, probably a better clip actually, but you know, they were kind of going more into how the Social Security payments were going to go out, and it made me think on this video clip from George Carlin, because everything he's saying in the clip, is happening, and his debt default could take it to a whole new level of, everything that's already taken place. You just, take it to a new level. So let's check it out. Again, fair use.
I want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table to figure out how badly they're getting fucked by a system that threw them overboard 30 fucking years ago. They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork, and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money. They want your fucking retirement money. They want it back so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later, because they own this fucking place. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. And by the way, it's the same big club they use to beat you over the head with all day long when they tell you what to believe. All day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged. And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Good, honest, hard-working people, white collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Good, honest, hard-working people continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you at all. At all. At all. Yeah. You know? And nobody seems to notice, nobody seems to care. That's what the owners count on, the fact that Americans will probably remain willfully ignorant of the big red, white, and blue dick that's being jammed up their assholes every day.
George Carlin was going in, man, but he's right. A lot of you people just still walking around sleep, man. That's why this thing is going to catch a lot of people off guard, man. But what does it say in Romans? All right, that's why we keep telling you, Jake, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, it's high time to awake out of sleep. This is Romans 13:11. It says, "In that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed." Right? Because we're coming into that season. We're in that time of great destruction. We're in that time of great suffering. We're in a time of a social economic collapse. Okay, so things are gonna get really heavy out here, and you jakes that you want to have a cloak of protection, you jakes that don't want to suffer these things, then you must repent and come and turn back to Yahweh Shem Yahushai and believe that He is, and that He is a rewarder of them that diligently seek Him. You got to come back to the Lord. You got to wake up. You got to start paying attention to what's going on around you. All right. A lot of you're not even paying attention into the debt ceiling situation because you think it's not going to affect you on a personal level, but you better believe that it is. It's going to have a big impact and you're going to feel it. All right. So, hey, it's high time to wake out of sleep. Don't walk around here like a blind zombie like the rest of the world. It's time to wake up and pay attention to what's going on, man, before it's too late. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and peace to the hopeful elect. Till next time, Shalom.